Hey everybody, so I don't know if you guys remember or not, but a while back I did a video about Marlena Hurst and her disappearance, and I worked with her daughter in an effort to find out the truth about what had happened, where she was, and locating her. And I actually talked to her family again, and we decided to kind of do like an update video about what the family knows, what currently is going on, what the current stories are, what the most numerous ones that have been pretty identical have been. And we also wanted to share a GoFundMe page that has been created because the two youngest siblings, which are 17 and 15, they currently are rotating between the two oldest siblings' house. And you know, I don't know if you guys know what it's like to raise a child or to have those expenses, but it can be very expensive. And right now, you know, this GoFundMe was created to be able to help the two older siblings in helping to make sure that these children have the clothing they need, the, school supplies they need, food, all the extra expenses that come with having an extra mouth to feed in your home. And so I'm going to share the GoFundMe and the links above this video. So please feel free to share that. Please feel free to donate. Anything you can do is helpful. But I wanted to go ahead and share the information about the GoFundMe before I got into the rest of the video, because the rest of the video is going to be graphic. It is going to be very intense for some viewers, and I'm not going to sugarcoat a lot of the stuff because it's something that needs to be said and it's something that needs to be out there, because at this point, this family and Marlena deserve peace. They deserve to know the truth, and they deserve more than what they've gotten. So at this point, I'm going to give you guys kind of like a recap about what has happened, the stories that have been brought to the family and to the investigators, and go from there. So Marlena Hurst, she went missing. Well, she was last seen on December 1st of 2020. She lived in Meigs. She lived in a camper on some family property. And after all of this time, there's been several stories that have circulated. And so I'm going to share the top stories as far as multiple people have come and said the same stories. And so I'm going to share that with you guys. If you remember something that you saw, or this sounds familiar, like somebody may have told you this, please know that that information is crucial at this point in this case, because this family is just trying to get answers. But I'm going to give you guys the breakdown about what initially has been told that happened. So apparently Marlena was picked up in Coolidge to go to a house in Pelham for a get-together or a gathering or a party or something of that sort. And once she got to the party or the house, she walked into something that she did not agree with. Apparently somebody was doing something they weren't supposed to be doing in another room or in the home, and she was very vocal with how she felt that she did not agree. She didn't want to be a part of it. And at that point, the people that were involved knew that she was going to be bad news. They knew that they had to do something about her because she was basically, she knew more than she needed to know, and she wouldn't go along with it. And so they decided they needed to handle it. And this is the point in the story where it kind of gets a little bit unsure, because there's been different stories about what has happened at that point. Again, disclaimer, this is brutal, and it breaks my heart that this family has had to hear these details, but I'm going to tell y'all because I feel like the more people that know what happened, the more people are willing to come forward and try to help this family. Basically, one of the stories that has been told that was, multiple people have said, was that because she walked into something that she didn't agree with and wasn't supposed to see, she became a problem at that point. And that's where the people that were involved shot her and hid her body. Another person or another couple of stories that have come about have said that she was beaten and shot, and then her body was dumped in a pond. The pond thing has come up multiple times in different stories. So, investigators and the family are kind of, pretty sure that that might be something that's actually concrete inside the story, but they don't know for sure. We're going to fast forward a little bit. So after investigators started doing interviews and hearing all these different stories, apparently it is said, this is hearsay, we don't really know exactly the details behind it, but it is said that the people that dumped her body went back because they started to get spooked and they decided to move her body. And at that point, it's awful to even have to say this, but the family and investigators have been told that at that point, once they moved the body, they decided to dismember her body. And it's just absolutely awful. Like something out of a horror film. I can't even imagine somebody that can do that and live with themselves. But it was said that she was dismembered, and because of the people being spooked and all, they moved her body to a different location. But at this point, it's going to take somebody that was actually involved or saw or heard firsthand what happened and that was involved. So I am begging you, if you know something, big or small, please contact the investigator or contact Payton, Marlena's daughter. She has been taking in all this information and she is prepared for the worst. This family just wants peace at this point, and it is heartbreaking. I can't even put into words how devastating all of this is. And so we're just asking for any information. If you noticed something out of the ordinary or anything, please, I just need you to put yourself in the shoes of this family. Imagine if this was your mother, your friend, your family, your daughter. I mean, it's just devastating. I'm just asking all of you to have some compassion at this point. And if you were involved or know somebody involved, please, Marlena, her family, all of them at this point deserve peace and to be able to move forward with their lives. But that at this point is what the stories are that have circulated. And if you can do anything, whether it be share the GoFundMe page or help her family or come forward with information that you know, anything is appreciated. And I know that her family thanks you and I thank you. And together as a team and as a community, we will get through this. And I just ask for prayers because, it's just awful. But thank you guys for listening, and thank you for sharing and helping us move forward in this and finding out whatever we can. You just don't know how appreciated it is from her family and from myself. Thank you again.